Warren Buffett is easily the most successful investor of all time. He helped write a book called The Snowball Effect, in which he describes essentially compound interest. And I'm going to show you how that works today. And check out this chart with his net worth by age. You're going to see exponential growth in pictorial format. All right, so you get a great visual right here. Alrighty, I'm going to show you how the snowball effects works with stocks. We're looking at ExxonMobil stock right here. They closed the day at approximately $110 at 109.88. And if we're to take that price, they're paying a dividend of $3.96. What a dividend is, let's say you buy one share for $110. They're going to pay you $3.96 throughout the full year. And depending on the stock, by the way, they may pay you monthly, they may pay you quarterly, and they may pay you annually. The most common I've noticed with my stocks is quarterly. And so I would take this and divide it by four quarters in a dollar, right? So it's almost about $1 per quarter per share. Now, if you had 100 shares, that's $100 per quarter per share. Okay, so that's extra income coming in without selling the stock. Okay, you don't want to sell the stock if you're trying to earn a dividend. Okay, this percentage is a percentage of the current price. It's not always going to be the same, but right now it's 3.61%. Meaning, if the stock dropped down to $70 and it kept the dollar amount $3.96, that percentage is going to be a lot higher, maybe closer to 5 or 6, without me doing the math on the board. But 3.61 in the grand scheme of things in stocks should not be rounded up to 4, especially when you're dealing with hundreds, thousands, 10,000s of shares and dollars, of course. But for the purpose of learning how this works, let's round this up to 4% to make this easy, okay? So we're going to round that up to 4%. I'm going to open the whiteboard and we'll continue from there. Okay, so I have a proportion here set up. Of course, percentages are always over 100 or out of 100. Okay, and you're going to cross multiply. Of course, you're going to get 40,000, divide that by 100. You're going to earn $400 every year on a stock that's offering 4% if you invested exactly $10,000. Again, if that was quarterly, you'd be getting paid $100 quarterly. If it was monthly, you would divide 400 by 12. Okay, and then if it paid annually, obviously you get that lump sum all at once every year. Okay, and so how the snowball affects with this is if you did not sell anything or spend that or collect it, let's say you have a DRIP plan, dividend reinvestment plan, that's 4. Okay, if you have one of those, this is going to get attached to this. Okay, so now we're going to have 10,400, and now you're taking 4% of that the next year. Okay, and so 4% of that is going to be more than 400. Okay, I believe it's going to be $416, is it? I believe $416 earned that year. Okay, then you would take that amount, add it to this. Okay, so you're going to have X over 10,816. Okay, and that number is going to be larger than the 416. Okay, and then that number would get added. Again, this is all if you don't sell the stock and you don't want to. Okay, if you're trying to have dividend income coming in. All right, and so what the snowball effect essentially means is this number is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger as long as you keep reinvesting your dividends. That being said, some stocks do eliminate their dividends, so you do want to stay on top of the companies that you invest in, or they will reduce a dividend. Okay, and whenever I'd recommend checking at minimum a couple times a month just to see if there's any news on their dividend. Okay, in today's economy, you should not be surprised if someone's changing their dividend. Okay, so here you see the compound growth or compound interest formula, where A is going to be your total P is going to be your principal. So your principal here would be the $10,000 initial investment. Okay. The one stays the same, and your rate, let's say it's 4%. 4% as a decimal is 0.04. And then you would multiply, or sorry, raise that to the amount of years that you're going to plan on saving this for. Let's just say 20 years, just to make it a nice flat number. Okay. You go ahead and plug this into a calculator. All right. But before we do that, I want to show you how simple interest would work. Okay. You're earning 4%. We talked earlier about it being $400 per year off of that $10,000. And so if we just do a quick 400 times 20, 400 times 10 is 4,000. So times 20 is going to be 8,000. Okay, so what you would do is you would take your original 10,000 and add the 8,000. You get 18,000. Okay, I'm going to show you how compound interest works. And I put in the initial investment. This is investor.gov, government website you can use for free. I did not include a monthly contribution, but if you do that, it's just going to lead to higher dividends each time, okay? And I would highly recommend making monthly contribution at the minimum of whatever you can do, whatever works for you. Just don't stop investing is essentially what I'm saying. Length of time in years, 20. Interest rate, they just want the as a percentage, 4%. Okay, and we're going to compound this annually, okay? And you're going to see that it actually equals $21,911. So using that compound interest, you're going to gain a few $1,000s more over this time. And of course, if you earn a higher interest rate, maybe the dividend is paying 6%. Is it going to let me? Maybe the dividend is 6%. And now let's calculate that. It's going to be way higher, right? $32,000. Okay. And so off of that $10,000 investment, see how this starts going up and up and up? Obviously, longer down the road you go, let's say 30 years, that's just going to go like that. All right. So again, that's how dividends work, as well as compound interest. I want to thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment on what you'd like to see next. All right. I know this is a beginner video for those just learning, but let me know what you want to see. Thank you and have a great day. Do something that makes you smile.